Government has now announced measures that are related to tax concessions, and this is only specifically for payment towards COVID treatment or COVID-related death. The amount paid for COVID treatment, medical treatment to an employee by an employer for the year 2019 to 2020 and the subsequent year as well will not be taxed. The ex gratia amount that is paid will also not be taxable till next year.
Amount paid for the medical treatment to an employee by an employer or to any person by any other person on account of the treatment of COVID for the financial year 1920 and subsequent year would not be taxed in the hands of the employee or any person receiving the benefit. Ex gratia payment by an employer to an employee's family or by any person to any other person's family on the death of the employee or any other person on the account of COVID for the financial year 1920 or subsequent year would be exempt from tax.
Assistant News Editor Avni Raja is getting us further updates here on this. Avni, this would come in as a huge relief, applicable not just for the previous year, but is continued to be applicable for the coming year as well.
Yes, absolutely, Seher. And essentially, it means that there is now no income tax that will have to be paid. It's not just the employer, but from anybody. If you've received money for COVID treatment, specifically for medical treatment for COVID, that will not be subject to any kind of tax. Not just that, but there will also be income tax exemption for any kind of ex gratia payment that's been received by any family members of anyone from the employer of such a person or from any other person on the death of somebody on the account of COVID. That will also not be liable to any kind of income tax. So obviously this is important in terms of some sort of financial relief that all of this amount, whoever gets that money, whether it's for COVID treatment or it's for somebody who's died, and the ex gratia payment being received on that, that will be some relief on the tax front.
Absolutely. Huge relief for the affected families and victims here of kin of the deceased. Avni, thank you for getting us those details.